Hello, beautiful humans.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. Let me just keep admitting you guys in here. You guys, are the birds really loud? I have like the windows open in here. Sometimes they get a little loud, but they're pretty to hear. You see, you hear them? They get loud. All right. Okay, you like my top? Thank you. So tell me, guys, did anybody go and kind of really look at some of the beliefs they have rattling around when it comes to money? Right? Did anybody do your homework? I'm not always the best homework doer, so. Sound is coming in and out for you. I don't know. Is that anybody else having that issue? No? Okay. You might want to log out and log back in. Sounds like a thing on your end there. You already know I'm a bad student, Sarah. What homework? Well, let's change that story, Charlie. I think we should change the story to you are becoming a good student, right? You guys got to remember that when we perpetuate things like this out into our lives. I'm a bad student. I don't follow through. Oh my gosh, I'm that person that never does this. These are the stories that we live in. And these are the stories that we continue to tell ourselves over and over again. And then that's the reality we create. You know, I used to tell a story all the time, like, oh my God, I'm so forgetful. Oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. And I like, stop. Why am I perpetuating the story? Do I forget stuff like every human does? Sure, it happens. But like, no, I'm actually a really responsible person that gets things done and holds myself accountable, right? So we can change these stories. My beliefs were money comes from working hard. Money doesn't grow on trees. My worth is tied to my income and productivity. And that's a big one. You know, we talked a little bit about that briefly yesterday, where a lot of the personal development world perpetuates this, right? Like, I am, like, because of the person I am, I now have the success and the wealth that I do, right? Guys, let's be real. There's a lot of people that are literally just born and they got $1 billion in the bank. It has nothing to do with the person they became or the person they are. They woke up and had money. They were born and had money. There's people that win the lottery. They didn't do a bunch of personal development work. They didn't do a bunch of anything. They played the lottery. And so remember when I said yesterday, there's no truth per se about money. It's like it tricked you in here. Tricky me. The truth about money. No, there really is no truth. It just exists. It exists. It's here for you. And whatever you choose to put on it is how it's going to show up for you. And we're going to get in today, we're going to talk deeper. We're going to talk DNA and epigenetics and quantum physics and some really fun stuff, because a lot of the way money's showing up for you, your beliefs are what like create your DNA. When you think of DNA is like your deepest set of belief systems. It's like how you look, how you feel, how life works for you. It is our deepest set of belief systems. And what's cool is we can change our DNA. Now, it takes a lot of time to change the DNA, but what doesn't take a lot of time to change is our epigenetics, which is how our DNA is expressed. And we're kind of going to talk about this and why it's so important to keep doing the work. And this is kind of what happened to me. Remember how I was talking about how like I was making all the rules and doing all the things? Like I had figured out how to express my DNA differently, but then I stopped doing the work. And that DNA that's always going to be there overrode. It overrode. And I went back to all those beliefs that have been in there for, I don't even know, probably a million years, right? And so we got to keep doing the work. This is an evolutionary journey. People will say, oh, you're always healing. I don't necessarily like to use the word healing. I think we have healing to do. But even after we heal, we keep evolving. We're evolving. We used to be a potato. Now we're these fantastic humans, right? You know that, guys? Do you know that we share? Like, our DNA is not that different than a potato. It's something ridiculous. Like, I mean, I think it's like 60 or 70% of our DNA is like the same as a potato. It's almost exactly the same as a gorilla. There's like one little tweak there. We're humans. Hey. And so we're always on this evolutionary journey. We're always desiring things to be better. We're always looking back and being like, well, I don't know if I really like that, right? And we get so stuck in our limits and so stuck in our fear that it often dead stops us in our evolution. Look at, guys, we are divine, intelligent creatures. If we want to live off of Cheetos, we can. It might take us a couple thousand years to evolve to a body that completely lives off of Cheetos, but we can do it. We can literally evolve into anything we want. And that's what I want you guys to start opening your minds to in here, that there aren't limits. If we want to learn to fly, yeah, flap wings. At one point, a lizard wanted to learn to fly. So it eventually learned to grow wings and became a bird. Like, that's how evolution works. It takes time. But in the meantime, we can actually change our gene expression and start having some quick wins. We might not be able to grow wings in a lifetime. I mean, I actually think you could if you really, really worked at it, but I don't know if I even have the magic capability to do that one. But we can change a lot in a very short period of time. So let me look at some of these comments, and then we'll get to today's stuff. I thought that I had left those wrong beliefs behind. However, either I didn't only leave some beliefs behind, or the wrong ones are sneaking in again. And that's kind of what I was talking about, Astrid. You know, like, I watch a lot of people come into our world and kind of do the work for a while, and then they kind of, oh, I'm healed. Off I go on my world. No, you may have healed a lot of stuff, but now you're still evolving, and to evolve, you have to keep at it. Because again, that DNA, whoop, it'll come back. It'll come back. I also have a belief, like, only a few people can have a chance to be rich, only if you work so hard. And if you don't become a doctor, engineer, such, you don't make money easily, right? And this is where we have to start looking to the world, guys, to see what's a truth and what's a limit. Are there only a few people that can be rich? No. People are getting rich all day, every day, all over the place. Now, the reason you probably have that in you is because if you go back 50 years, 100 years, if you're I believe you were in, I don't remember if you were from Turkey, but if you go to other parts of the world, there's some still really strict class systems in other parts of the world. There's some parts of the world that do tell you, you were born right there. You do not, my friend, get to have money. But you know what? That's not a truth. That's a limit. Because there's other humans all over the place that look like you, that were born like you, making plenty of money. This is just a man-made limit to keep you oppressed and you from not living your life and controlled. And so we have to start looking and challenging. I know mine's around, there's never enough. I'm broke, I'll never be abundant. Right? But there is more than enough if you believe it. If you believe it, there's people out there that literally have way more than enough, and they're just making more and more and more. You think Kim Kardashian needs more money? No. But girlfriend went ahead and launched herself a skincare line, went ahead and signed up with Dolce and Gabbana, went over here and made a couple million showing up on this thing. Because girlfriend says, I know I have more than enough. Why not more? Why not more? And you know, as everybody loves to bash the Kim Kardashians of the world and how they didn't really build themselves wealth because they came from wealth. You know, her grandfather was a garbage man. He was an immigrant from Armenia because of the war, left, started as a garbage man here, and then grew a garbage company. So we love to bash these people, right? These people. But you know what? All y'all are trying to do exactly what that grandpa did. You're over here saying, hey, wait, I want to create wealth, and I want to create wealth for myself, and I want to create wealth for the generations behind me. There's always, there may be a very few families that you could trace way far back that have like always had wealth. But for the most part, it doesn't. It transfers. It comes and goes. You go back to the Rockefellers. Yeah, they've held money for a long time, but the original Rockefeller, he was like a poor ass farmer. Carnegie, the big oil dude, he was like an oil worker that scraped together some money, figured it out, and did it. And yeah, did they then figure out how to hijack the system? Did they then figure out how to use all the things to create generational wealth? And I honestly believe they hold up a lot of our money. I personally think generational wealth shouldn't last for as long as it should. Because you put all that money in those trusts, right? We have all this resources, trillions and trillions of dollars that circulate through our world. And like a third of it is just held up in trusts and shit, just held there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to help your next generation out, but it's kind of like, think if somebody just took a third of the air and they just said, oh, we're just going to hold it up here for future generations. But what if we never even had to do that? What if money was like air, where it was all here, always abundant? We breathed it in as we needed it. If we needed more, we breathed in more. If we needed less, we breathed in less. And it was just available. We wouldn't need to hold up. Nobody thinks, oh boy, we better reserve a third of our air. We might run out. Nobody actually thinks that. Now, we could probably maybe screw things up down the road, and maybe we'd have to start thinking that. I always think air is like the last commodity people haven't figured out how to like bottle and sell, right? It's like, you know, somebody out there is probably thinking, how do we start making people pay for the air they breathe? Right? Like, you know, I guarantee you there's somebody out there being like, I mean, we did it with water. We did it with everything. Like, this is like the last like untouched commodity. What else do we have here? Yeah, we used to be a potato. What? A potato? Yeah, a potato. I'm happy to be here live. I watched the replay. I did homework. It's kind of funny because I don't go deep into shame because it isn't a real emotion, but it still needs to be addressed. It does. I have a lot of shame around my money, my education, my life. And shame's such a big one. Shame, guilt, right? Feeling like we're bad people. I guarantee you every single one of you on here has a little voice inside of you being like, you're bad. You're a bad person. You don't deserve that. Nope, not you, not you. No, not you. And even people with money suffer from this. How many people do you know have done things where they have really great wins and then they end up sick? Really great wins and then their kid gets sick. Really great wins and their house burns down. We see this all the time, this whoop, you're up, you're down, you're down. It's that little person inside you being like, you're bad, you don't deserve this, something bad's gonna happen to you, something bad should happen to you because you're bad. Right? It lives in there. It lives in there. Let's see. We don't always have to heal, but we do need to evolve. Yep, definitely. I'm limiting myself a lot if there's only one option, not only for money, but also for other things. Scares you to be rich, as if I don't want to have lots of money, but I also don't want to stay like this, right? We get scared to have lots of money. Money's scary. What if it gets taken away from us? I think that's a big one we talk about in the wealth code, which I'm going to talk a little bit about the wealth code in our membership and why all y'all need to be in it. But that's a big one, right? I'm scared to have money. People are going to take it from me. They're going to take it from me. I'm going to change. People aren't going to like me when I have money. They're going to want something from me. The Lorax. It is. I forgot that movie. They do. They charge for air. They like put everybody in a bubble and you have to like pay for the air. My parents are the only two people in their family who don't have money. That used to confuse me. Like, if your whole families have money, why don't you two? They have jacked up beliefs about money. Apparently I chose these two as parents because I can shift it. Or I think that because I'm the only one in the family attending things like this and doing the inner work, you can shift it. You can shift it all, you guys. Well, I heard there's people selling farts in a bottle. That is true. And you guys, this right here is a perfect example of unlimited potential. When people say things to me like, well, I just don't know how to make money. Like, people, there are literally people in the world selling their bath water for thousands of dollars.
I was just going to say, remember when I sent you that story, the TikTok girl, she made millions. Her OnlyFans were buying her bath water, millions. I said to Sarah, okay, this chick can sell her used bath water and people actually believe that she like marinated in it and sold millions. New level of potential.
And so I want you to understand that, because we lock ourselves in to believing money can only come in certain ways. Money can come from jobs. Money can come from a business. I don't know. Money just shows up. I just got a check for $390. Literally a check just shows up. It's $390. It is from an old bank account I had in college. I'm like, literally, like, I closed that bank account out. I know I had it for 15 years. I had to like track it down. I was like, it wasn't Bank of America. Oh, US Bank. And I was like, US Bank? I haven't had an account. And it's like this letter, like, we're sorry, your account's been inactive for 4 years. We're closing it out. Here's the money. And I'm like, US Bank? I haven't had an account with US Bank. What? Like, trying to track this down. Finally, I'm about to like call the number. And finally, I'm like, girl, just go cash the check. What are you doing? Stop work. Like, I can't tell you the stories that I have had happen to me like that. Like, all the time, just randomness, because I just believe in random money. I just believe in random money. I just believe money just shows up and comes to me for no other reason than like, it just finds me. And it does, just finds me, just finds me. All my judgment right now are on how people with money are rude, demanding, etc. I know it's just me being scared because I'm trying to call them. Yeah, of course it is. But you know what, Wendy? If you believe people with money are rude and demanding, you're not going to bring in money because you don't want to be rude and demanding. Am I rude and demanding? I have money. I know a lot of people that have lots of money that aren't rude and demanding. I know a lot of people that have money that are rude and demanding, and I know a lot of people that don't have money that are rude and demanding. There's people in this world that are rude and demanding. There's people in this world that are rude and demanding. Some have money, some don't. Some do, some don't. That's it. My mother had 4 kids and it was everyone but me. That was in the DNA before I realized it. Yep. Yep, they take from you. I don't know how to handle money. I'd rather have my husband manage it. That's fine. That's fine as long as you still feel free around it. Because remember, there's no rules. If that feels good to you and money comes to you easily with someone else managing it to you for you, go for it. But if it doesn't feel good to you, then we got to see what's there. Self-sabotage, farts in a bottle. I mean, we got it all, guys. People are doing all the things. Making money takes up lots of my time. Does it? Is that a truth or is that a limit? Because I know people who have trust funds. I know people who get $1 million a month in the mail from oil royalties here in Texas. $1.4 million a month. Cha-ching, just go into their bank account every month because they have all these pipelines and all these rigs that are on land that like their grandfather purchased before he died back in, I don't know, like the 30s, 40s. So does it actually take a lot? They don't spend any time, 0 time spent. 1.4 million a month. Well, depending on where oil's at. Sometimes it can get lower, sometimes it can get higher, right? I always get random money. I love it. I received a $15 check from a law office. I cashed it thinking I'm breaking through. Exactly. But these are the things start seeing these as breakthroughs. My rich uncle makes me believe that people with money are selfish, think the world is about them, only care about others with money. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of poor people that are super selfish. There's a lot of poor people that are super icky. There's just a lot of people that are selfish and icky and meh. It has nothing to do with their income. And the world likes to perpetuate that rich people and people with money are icky. You know why? Oh, it's a great way to keep y'all from wanting to have all the money. It's a great way. If you think people with money are evil and selfish and terrible, you're going to stay very far from money, aren't you? What if money meant you got to be fully you? And what if being fully you meant the world was a better place? And what if you having money meant all sorts of good things? What if it meant you were going to be kinder? When I have money, lots and lots of it, I'm like a way better person. I like give money away like I have people be like, oh, do you think I could have a loan? And I'm like, no, you can just have it. And they're like, what do you mean I can just have it? I'm like, you can just have it. I don't care. Here you go. I don't give loans. I just give it. You can do a lot of great things with money in this world. Money's only going to amplify what's there. It's just an amplifier. If you're a selfish, rude, shit person and you get a bunch of money, you're going to be an amplified, selfish, shit person. If you are a good, kind-hearted, amazing human that wants to live their life and do good for this world, money's going to amplify that. And a lot of you guys, and I know for myself, I feel like money often holds off coming into my life because it's like I've set these standards where I got to clean out this stuff and deal with this stuff and be the person I want to be before I amplify myself. And some of you might be like that. You might have these little like checkpoints. Hold on. I don't necessarily want to amplify that selfish, ashamed, bad person thing I have living down there. Let me deal with that first. And then I'm ready to amplify. And we're going to talk about what that looks like and how we do that. Yes, you work with the nicest people who have money. Poor and selfish. There you are, Charlie. Poor, selfish Charlie. I mean, these are the things we tell ourselves, guys. These are the things we tell ourselves. And they're not true. Maybe you don't have the money you want right now. And maybe you do like yourself and want to take care of yourself. Nothing wrong with that. I want money to be my boyfriend. I want money to be my male support. I'm cool. How do I make that work? We'll work on it. I can't wait to have money. I just know all the goodness I can do. Charlie, I'm happy to be comic relief. But yes, so we have to start looking at this. We have to get really real. And we don't like to get real in this world. We like to live in la la land and pretend everything's cool and happy and wonderful when it's actually not. It's actually not. And how do we know if it's not cool and happy? Well, it's not happening how you want it to happen. If it's not happening how you want it to happen, we got to look at what's really going on. Okay, so we're going to get into the magic side of money today. So I want to tell you a couple stories. We're going to have a little story time. We're going to talk quantum physics. We're going to talk epigenetics. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. So the first story I want to talk about is a fly. And I love this story. But have you ever had a fly come into your house and the fly is feeling trapped, right? The fly is trapped. And so what is the fly doing? The fly is at the window and it is just going. Have you ever seen a fly do that? I'm sure you all have. The fly is just sitting there trying to hit the window, get outside. I'm just going to hit this over and over and over and over again. And I want you guys to really think in your life, how often you've been the fly. You know what you want. You can see it, you can smell it, you can feel it, like the fly can, but you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Like insanity, right? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. This fly is like hitting this window, being like, oh, eventually this window is just, I don't know what's going to open up and I'm going to be back where I want to be. We often live our lives as flies, trying to get out the window. We are just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, this fly that's in my house doing this over and over again, he hasn't happened to just turn around and see that this whole huge house exists right behind him. In fact, the door right over there is wide open for him to fly out to the world. No. The fly is focused on this spot. And he is not stopping. And what do we usually see happens to the fly? How many of you go and do your spring cleaning and you find all your friend flies on the windowsill? They die trying. They die trying over and over and over and over and over again to get to where they want to go, when all they had to do was turn the fuck around and see that there is a completely different path, different way, different world behind them. I mean, the fly's trying to get outside. Damn fly, just stay in the house. You got you fly, how many days does a fly live for? It's like 6 days. It's real short, right? They have real short lifespans. Why are you trying to get back out there, fly? You got the food in here. You got the water in here. You got all the things. Just turn around and make yourself a good life for your 6 days in this beautiful home. You already made it in here. But the fly doesn't. You know what we just found out the other day? My kids were asking how long a wasp lives for. A wasp only lives for like 3 days. I was like, damn, what a life. Like, what are you doing those 3 days? Like, if you guys only had 3 days, like, think of that. If, like, as an adult, it was like, okay, you've made it to 18. You now have 3 days. Okay. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to changing your life, when it comes to, you always talk to the fly, right? I'm totally somebody like that. Like I talk to my like freaking like dishes. When my dishwasher wasn't working, I got that thing to work for like 3 more months. I'd sit in front of it and I'd be like, dishwasher, today you work, you wash the dishes, you can do this, dishwasher. My husband would be like, what are you doing? I'm like, dishwasher's going to work today. Get out of this energy field. And sure enough, that dishwasher worked up until the week before our new dishwasher came. And I would, so my husband could never get it to work. He'd go over there, he'd like slam it shut. And I don't know how you'd back away. Let me work with my dishwasher. Let me work with it. Right? You guys, everything's living. Like, I want you to understand, like, let's get into quantum physics for a quick moment. This cup is literally made of the same things you're made of. Like, when people always say, like, well, that's not natural. I'm like, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you're breaking the chemical bonds apart. But at the end of the day, everything on this planet comes from the same starter material, which is like this ether. Electrons, protons and neutrons. It's literally at its chemical component, all the exact same thing. All the exact same thing. And so it might not have the divine, energetic life that a human does, but I don't know, maybe it does. There's something about it. It responds, and they've done this with plants, you guys, right? They've taken plants where they talk mean to plants and plants where they talk loving to plants. The mean plants, they don't do so good. The ones that hear love, oh, they just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Just grows. And so even rocks are alive. Like I said, even the cup, like these things are made from all of that. And even though we're breaking apart the bonds and stuff, and this is where quantum physics, like I said, if you ever want your mind blown, go take a quantum physics class. You sit there and you're like, what? A quantum physicist, and these are people who are like the scientists of the science. These are the Albert Einsteins of the world. These are hardcore science people. They're not woo-woo religious people. They'll sit here and tell you it's all freaking an illusion. Rice, look at that. If you talk to uncooked rice, it will soften. If you talk mean to it, it molds. They've done it with water. And if you talk to a quantum physicist is going to tell you we made it all up. It's all made up, you guys. Every last piece of it. Your brain is just programmed to see everything like this, and so that's how you see it. Period. And if you even want to go into religion, let's just talk the Bible real quick. One of the verses that's in the Bible more than anything else, what you believe is what you see. It's one of the most common lines in the Bible. Now, I'm not condoning any religion here or the Bible or anything like that, because I honestly think the majority of religions, actually, I'm going to say it, all religions actually hold us back because they all teach us that our power is outside of us when it's not. It's not outside of us. God's not actually leading the show here. You are. You are. God, the universe, whoever you speak to, is your co-creator. And so all of us sit here and we're like, oh, please. And the universe is sitting there being like, charge you what you want. You tell me. Remember, ask and it is given? Also in all religions, right? We forget. We like to piece and part out our religions. Why? Because it takes away the pressure of our own responsibility. Doesn't it feel better when things don't work out in your life? And don't get me wrong, you guys, I have been a proponent of this. Doesn't it feel better when things don't work out in your life to be like, oh, well, that's just how life works. Oh, it just wasn't divine timing. Oh, God just isn't, it's not ready. No, right? It feels a whole lot better than to be like, oh. Oh man, I didn't believe it enough. I didn't take the actions to do it. Maybe it's actually not even something I want. And it is a daring thesis about God and religion, but I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it because I have done the spectrum. I've been in the religion. I was raised in the religion. I've been, in that place of believing I am at the mercy of God, and it doesn't work well. Life doesn't go well. When I believe I am on par with God, when I believe God lives in me, when I believe I am co-creating, and you know what? If you go back to really early Christian work, all the stuff that was removed from the Bible, all of the stuff that was taken out, that's exactly what it said. That's exactly what Jesus said. But then it was changed and altered so that you didn't know your true power. You didn't know your ability to create, that you are actually one with the Creator, that we are from the Creator, made by the Creator, and totally capable of pure and total creation. You run the show here. You are a spiritual, energetic being coming down for a physical experience. You came here to play and learn and grow. And then a bunch of people told you, no. You're not in control. I am. They are. That is. We tell you how it works. We tell you how it works. Not you. You're just a peon, a minion. And you believed it. You believed that this world gets to decide how you lived. You believed that this world tells you how money exists. You believed it. So did I. But it's not the truth. Never was, never will be. It's a construct. A construct to keep you marginalized and oppressed and away from money. Because do you know why? When you have money, you can move mountains. You can do stuff. You can live. When you have money, the world opens up to you. When you have money, you can change that shit that bothers you. When you have money, you have choices. When you have money, it changes all of it. Yes, and you are in control and you do co-create with source. That's what I'm saying. There is an unseen energy around us. But we lead the show, guys. We lead, and the rest of it responds to us. And so ask yourself, are you leading? Are you leading in your life? Or are you waiting? Are you waiting to be led? Are you waiting for something to happen? Or are you saying, oh, let's go. I got this. You lead. You lead. You are the CEO. You are the CEO of your money. You are the CEO of your body. You are the CEO of your reality. Are you acting like a CEO? Or are you acting like a worker bee who's waiting for the CEO to tell you how it's supposed to go? I think most of us are like little worker bees. Like, you know, we give so much of our power away to everything around us, hoping it will fix us. You're the thing, you guys. You might need some information. You might need a little kick in the boot, but you're the thing. You're the thing. And as we've learned from quantum physics, this is basically all made up, man. Which means if it's all made up, we can make it up how we want it to work. Now, I will give you the fact that we happen to be hanging out with, what is it, 9 billion people? How many people we got on somewhere around there? We happen to be hanging out with 9 billion other people who also have this ability, which makes it a little messy, right? I'm not saying like, oh, if you just sit in your chair today and believe that there's world peace, all of a sudden, boom, world peace goes out through the globe, right? There's a dominant consciousness that exists in this world and exists kind of in pockets, right? And you can look out into the world and see what the dominant consciousness is. Fear, not enoughness, don't have enough of anything in this world. Division, lack of power, anger. I mean, you can see it. You can see what our world's a hot mess, but it's kind of been a hot mess. I don't know if there's ever been like a time period where people were like, do you remember the time period of peace? Like, and I think one of the biggest reasons is because pretty much from the beginning of structured civilization, we have been kept from our power. It's like a few people realized their ability to co-create, their ability to do this. And they were like, oh shit, if everybody else learns about this, they might create something different than I want. So I'm gonna be the leader. Let's make sure nobody else knows about this. And let's just like keep them here. Yeah, they removed that information to enslave humanity. And think of how hard it was back then. I mean, go back to like Jesus' time, who truly was somebody who came here to say this kind of stuff. Hey guys, you're actually in power. Hey guys, stop listening to these buffoons up here. They've lied to you. But like, good God, the man had to travel on foot and speak to crowds. I mean, he did a good job, right? Like, he really made some headway in his 33 years. Like, damn. You don't see me like getting out there on foot being like, let's go, right? Like, I don't think none of us have that in us anymore to do. Like, Jesus, talk about a different time. Like, man. So now we're, and like people couldn't read back then. People couldn't write, right? So now we're in this really interesting time period where we have things like this. We're like, how this is happening, I can't tell you. How the fact that I'm sitting on here speaking to a woman in Turkey, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I have no idea how that works, how I can see all your beautiful faces and you can see me, but it works. And what it is allowing us to do is to get this very innate information and understanding back out to the people. Because this is how you change everything in this world. You don't change it through policies and procedures. We've been doing that forever. You change it through the grassroots movement of people beginning to understand their power. You know why the world's so angry right now and mad and pointing fingers? Because we know innately how powerful we are and we feel controlled and trapped. And that makes us mad. It makes us really mad. And it should, because we're not getting to live the lives and have the experience we came here to do. We're being sold a bad bill of goods. You know, it's like we were like, before we were born, our little souls like signed this contract, like get ready for the experience of your lifetime, power, money, da 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 da. And you were like, yes, sign me up for the human experience. I can't wait. And then like you were born and you were like, what? Did I not read the fine print? Must have missed over the damn fine print. And so like, you know it. Yeah, most of us are operating out of our human. We forgot to bring the soul into our human. And we don't even want to get into our human because our human has so many stuck emotions, all sorts of stuff in there. So quantum physics, we know we can change things. We know we can change things. And we do it through what we believe. And our DNA is the deepest level of that belief. The deepest level of that belief. And a lot of the things that are in our DNA are helpful, right? There was a time when a tiger would eat you. So when you walk up to a tiger and your body's like, oh boy, we best run. That is helpful. We've learned that. But there's a lot of things happening in our DNA that we learned and we were programmed with that is no longer helpful. Like a lot of the things you guys said. Only certain people get to make money. Money's scary. Bad people have money. We learned these things because there was a time period where those things actually kept us safe. When you were born in 1772 as a poor person, you trying to make money would get your ass killed. You needed to stay in your spot. When you were a woman and you spoke up and got bold and wanted to live your life, it likely did not work out well for you. If you were a Black person back in 1804 and you decided you wanted to live your life, yep, you got killed. And so your DNA over the years, your belief system over the years was passed down from generation to generation to keep you safe. But you know what? We live in a different damn world now. And you being a woman, you can do whatever the hell you want and live your life. You being a Black person, you can do whatever you want and live your life. You being an Indigenous person, you can do whatever the hell you want and live your life. But you got this DNA now that's like, whoa, whoops. Not compatible with that. But what we know scientifically is you can change your epigenetics. So I'll give you an example. My DNA, when I did my DNA write-up analysis, I only produce shit estrogen. I produce the estrogen that causes ovarian cancer, breast cancer, all the things. That's why every woman in my family dies of ovarian cancer, breast cancer, good stuff, right? That's what I produce. I had endometriosis. I had all the things, all the terrible things, right, that come with that. And then I started doing this work, the work of really cleaning out my emotions, because it's the emotions and those belief patterns that reinforce this DNA, right? They like work together. Your environment and your belief systems and your DNA, if they're all on the same board, they're like, oh yeah, oh cool, yeah, bad estrogen, we're down, right? My body's just producing it. And I started doing this work and was like, no, that's not how this works for me. I don't want endometriosis. I don't want all of this. And our body speaks to us, you guys. Our body tells us. Our body tells us where we're harboring the emotions, where we're harboring the beliefs that aren't working for us. It's like tapping you on the shoulder. Yeah, this isn't working. Can you please work on this? But we don't. But we're going to start to now that we're learning about this. And so I knew, and so I did all this work, all this emotional work, the emotional work I teach, how we remove it out. I did all this work over the years. And now you know what? My DNA says I only produce bad estrogen, but do you know what my body does? My body only produces the good estrogen. When my naturopath saw that, she was like, oh my God, it's like literal proof that what you do works. I'm like, I know. And we know this. We know we can change our gene expression, our epigenetics based on environmental factors and our beliefs. Now, people like to say thoughts. Your thoughts are your reality. But no, they're actually not. It's very much deeper. Your emotions are what run your thought patterns. It's why you can sit there and say all the affirmations all you want all day and ain't nothing changing in your life. Affirmations and that stuff are important, but they come later. They come later after you clean out the bullshit that's in there, after you clean out the stories and the limits and everything that's much deeper, after you clear out the emotions and have yourself a clear epigenetic state. Well, then we're able to finally start changing that. And then your DNA is able to express different. Now, the problem is you got to kind of keep up with it. And this is what I really learned when I kind of went through my thing. I wasn't really keeping up with it. And all of a sudden, that old DNA kind of started to overrule. Those old stories started to overrule. And don't get me wrong, you guys, at the end of the day, I do believe your DNA can change. They've shown that. That just takes a whole lot more time. Takes a little bit longer. But it doesn't have to mean that you can't change your life really fast, because those epigenetics, they can change freaking overnight, man. Overnight, we can change our epigenetics. And the more we keep laying it on, the more we keep doing the work, the more that DNA starts to change, which is cool, you guys, because you know why? That means not only are you changing your life, but you're changing it for the future generations. You are changing it for the future generations. The work you're going to do on your money story is not just going to be on your money story. And you want to know what's real freaky? It actually changes the people back there. Because as I've done my work, like I can't tell you how, like my mom has like called me up and been like, man, you know what's going on in the air, but I just feel so good about money these days. I used to be so scared and have all this fear, but like not anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been clearing out our family DNA around this. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because remember, guys, at the end of the day, we're all coming from that same stuff. We're all coming from that same electron, neutron. This is why I said, take a quantum physics class. You're like, what? We all come from the same particle stuff. It's like divine intelligent-y stuff. And so it transmutes. And that's why as you shift, the people around you shift, the world shifts. Remember those 9 billion people we're hanging out with? As more of us start to pop, as more of us start to change this, it starts to change what the collective dominant point is, which is cool, right? It's like I get to be selfish and work on me, but actually while I'm being selfish and working on me, I'm actually working on all of humanity. Like it's kind of a cool way to do it, but that's really what happens. That's really what happens. And it's important. It's not just important for you, it's important for humanity. It's important for future generations. It's not cool, you guys, that most people never get to experience having a little extra money to spend in their life. It's not cool. I know the life I have. I know the privilege I have. And I know that a very small amount of people ever get to experience what I get to experience. And that breaks my heart. Because I know that the human experience is supposed to be so much more for so many more people, including all of you. But we have to make that choice. We have to decide that we get to have that. Now, I want to, because I'm going to forget about this. So I want to talk about the wealth code and the membership first. And then, because we're going to go over the hour, and then I will come back to a few more points I want to make about how we actually start shifting some of these things in our life so you can have some tangible things to walk away with. Charlie, get me the wealth code now. Well, Charlie, you're in our membership, so you will get it. It's opening back up, so it is in there. So we have an amazing offer for you guys, and I really hope all of you come in because you need this, the world needs it, like we all do. So we used to launch all sorts of different courses, and I really wanted to create a space where like everything that you need to be a happy human, all the things were in there. We're just in there together. And you could do them as you needed to and wanted to, and as things opened up for you. And so we created our Happy Human membership, and it has all the things, all the old things we've done, all the new things we're going to do. It's a year long. Plenty of people stay for more than a year. It has all the stuff. It has our foundation that cleans you out, does the real healing, teaches you how to grow, teaches you how to evolve. And now we're going to be doing the wealth code in there. I'm going to be adding 3 new modules to our wealth code. And we're going to be doing those live, and we're going to be doing a Q&A with those. I know, Jody, you're going to be a life member. People don't leave our membership. They love it. They love it. They love it. Now, if you don't want to come into the full membership, you can just buy the wealth code. And I know that's for some of you, you're like, just give me the wealth code. I just want the wealth code. And you can get that. It's $397. You get the full current wealth code, which is a 6-module course with all the information, all the supplementals, all the clearing stuff. We teach you the clearing stuff. We teach you how to do it. It's all in there. It's super amazing. You will get the new material, the new 3 modules and the Q&As. You'll get them in there. They're just like, you won't be like part of the live experience, but you'll get all the new information. It'll be dropped in there. But the $397 wealth code version is just it's kind of like a self-study, if that's kind of what you want to do. But you can also come join our membership for a year, and we're doing $200 off right now. So if you do the pay in full, you can join the membership for a year at $797, so $797, or 4 payments of $297, or 12 payments of $85, because we really want to make this accessible to more people. We used to sell all the stuff that in the membership would probably cost you $50,000. I mean, we used to just sell each individual thing. People bought it. I mean, you guys, like I've talked about it. We make money. We know how to make money, but I really wanted to figure out how I could make this more affordable to people. And it wasn't
Actually, I'm going to interject at that specific point because for the payment options, it's actually 4 payments of $250, not $297.
even less.
We used to do it 4 payments of $297, 1181, I think was the number, but
Yeah. But now it's
$250, we've reduced it.
$250. And so it was really, I didn't want, and I know that there's still some people that obviously can't afford that. And I get that. And we're really working to grow this company to a place, like my dream is to really get to a place where 50% of everybody's purchase goes to a foundation side. And that foundation side allows for people who can't afford this and demographics that $85 is a lot, right? And we can start really getting this work and this understanding out to a lot of people. But we did try as much making it as affordable as possible to you guys. Right now, we're still a business, obviously, we got to pay our people and do all the things. But it's all in there. It's all in there. And then on top of that, like we do things every day. I go in every morning, I do the daily dose with you guys. So every morning I am live in there doing like affirmation stuff, like anchoring into stuff. And we're going to spend the next month to 2 months focusing on power and money in there. Because I know that this is a hard one for some of you guys to really change. And the more focus we can put on it, the more attention we can put on it, the more results and success we are all going to have when it comes to changing those epigenetics and really creating a different story in reality. And especially when we do it all together. Remember, like I said, that collective consciousness, we get pulled into that and it sucks, you guys. Like it sucks, right? And it surrounds us. It's what you see on TV every day. It's what you see on the news every day. It's what you see with your friends and your family every day. And so we wanted to create the space that we could really, come together and figure this out. My person who's in Turkey, will you email us? Because I do know that with Turkey, you guys have a lot going on. So email us. I know your conversions are kind of crazy. If we can get it to where that 85 is more like 85 US, but 85 for Turkey, something that works better, email us and let's see if we can figure something out. Cause I know Turkey's a little crazy right now. Can I pay your membership now, but with start date in June? Yeah, you could easily do that.
Yeah, just purchase and then shoot us an email and we'll make sure that it's all corrected on the back end for you.
Are we daily dosing today? I don't do the daily dose on Wednesday, Charlie, because we usually have our weekly wake up, which is where I do a live clearing, a live thing with all of you guys to really target in. It really, guys, it is what our whole world has been looking for. It is this space, the coaching and personal development industry is so freaking expensive. It just is. And we really wanted to figure out how to create something that has all the stuff in there. And we have a ton of different developers. We call them human developers instead of coaches. You get, what do we charge? $30 a session? Yeah. So you can literally have one-on-one sessions with our amazing certified people for $30. We are really trying to break the mold here and create something that really gets you the top tier, most amazing transformation, most amazing information, but it's something that doesn't break your bank, Yeah, so email us. I would try to say your name, my Turkey friend, but I'm going to mess it up. So I'm the worst with names when I don't know them and I don't want to say it wrong. When do the live wealth code modules start? I know, I'm so excited. When are we saying next week, Melissa?
Yeah, this Thursday.
They start next week. So we're going to get started in those. They're going to be good. Guys, I'm always learning new stuff and I always want to give it to you guys as I learn it so that you can just not make necessarily all the fun mistakes I get to make. It helps a lot.
And it'll end up being about 6 weeks of content. So you'll have the new training. And then the following Thursday is a live Q&A with Sarah. And then new module, live Q&A, new module Q&A. And your Q&A can include the new material or of course the old material or whatever. So that's for people who choose to do the membership. They get to participate in the new. And then if somebody desires just the self-study, you get access to the replays, but it's not a membership. So you get the content afterwards.
And keep in mind, if you join the membership, we're going to do stuff all throughout the year, right? So right now it's the wealth code. We have parenting courses. We have energetic courses. We have health courses. We have all of this stuff that we will be focusing on throughout the year at different periods, adding new live components to it. And you can see when you go to the checkout page, you can click on the part that shows you the membership and you can see there's business stuff in there. If you're somebody who's working to grow your career and your business, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there around that. And so it's really, really amazing. And then we give you the time, right? It's not like this course goes for 6 weeks. You must finish it in 6 weeks. Go. And you can barely get to it before it happens. It gives you the time and space to go through all of this. We have the accountability where we're going to be running in there live. We have the Q&As with the team. It's really, really.
What I really love about the membership too, if you remember yesterday, we were talking about our judgments around money. And I had said, sometimes our judgments actually don't show up necessarily with money. It shows up in your sense of self-worth or self-lack or your belief system that if you're not giving it 110%, you don't deserve it. And that there is this direct correlation with money. What's really great about the membership, it allows you, I call it healing through silos. You can clear one thing and it impacts the full 360 degrees of your life. And the membership makes sure that you have all the elements to not just focus, say, solely on money. So I hate myself. I'm not worthy. Solely on money, solely on money. It's the fly. Sometimes we need to reposition and look at it a different way. And the membership really does set you up with all of those tools. So it's not just a linear experience. It's a very holistic human experience. It's beautiful.
It really is. And it's kind of like we talked yesterday, where it's if you have that wonkiness with money and you just keep focusing on money, it's often because there's other things around there that actually have to do with the money, but it's not directly related. And that's why we're so passionate about this membership, because as a human, you're not a silo. It's your health is often very linked to your money, right? Your money is often very linked to your worth. Your worth is often very linked to your childhood. Your childhood is often very linked to how you parent. It all comes together. And so if we're not looking at the 360 view, when it comes to evolving and healing, we often feel like it's this wonky, disjointed journey. And we really wanted to make it this cohesive journey that we're all on together. And we've done it. It really is the best kept secret. I agree. Can you also share the link about the certification? I understand it's separate, right? Yes, we have the certification. We will be launching that probably pretty soon here.
I'd say in the next couple of months, I think.
Yeah. So that one we like to do them now in groups. We found it works so much better because you guys kind of have a group together and you're not just an island going through this on your own. So we will be, but I will tell you this with the certification, the first thing you have to do is the foundation course. So if you're looking to get certified, join the membership and start in that foundation course and start the foundational work. And then when we launch it, we will be ready. I really do agree with you. I really think the membership is the best kept secret in the industry. It's it really is. And what if it changes in a few months and we pay more because of this awful exchange rate?
We were just commiserating about Canadian exchange rate. I get paid in US dollars, so it's great. But then I buy things in US dollars, not so great.
Yeah, Rose, if something crazy happens, email us, we're not crazy people. I get it. I get that, the world's kind of wonky right now. And so if that happens and it's really hurting you, if it doubles or something crazy, we can figure something out. I don't think it's going to go too much crazy. I mean, it's kind of stabilized a little bit. I know it's great. We live in a crazy world right now. We just do.
I want to make sure this is the role I play in Sarah's life. I want to make sure you give all the details about our offers and our bonus.
Oh yeah, our bonus. I didn't even talk about the bonus. This bonus is Friday. So the $200 off, the $85 a month. This is a bonus that runs through Friday.
Also, so if you do the self-study, you get lifetime access to the wealth code. And like it's a self-study, that's the $397 option. If you decide you want to do the membership, you get the $200 off. We have also those preferred payment plans. And as an extra benefit, if you join before midnight Central Daylight Time on Friday, you also get the wealth code lifetime access for free. So what that means is after your year is up, if you choose you don't want to stay in the membership any longer, which doesn't always happen. A lot of people stay for life, but that means if you leave the membership, you will get continued access to the wealth code. We rarely, I was going to say never, I don't want to say never. We rarely offer lifetime access to things. But with this one, because our relationship with money is so linked to all the different aspects of our life, as a bonus for people who join before Friday, we'll get lifetime access to the wealth code, which includes the course as it exists today, the new material, and any new material that we may do in the future.
Yep. So we have good stuff. Will Alpha Goddess be added to the membership? Parts of it will. That course will be redone.
Yeah. And we will likely redo that inside the membership at some point this year.
That will be around power. Well, we're probably going to do money, and then we're going to go into heal, focusing on healing our sex, our power. We're going to kind of do a money, sex, power first part of the year here. So all sorts of good stuff. And I hope to see lots of you guys in there. This is a phenomenal deal. Everybody who's in there absolutely loves it. It really is. If you've been looking for something, feeling like you just need a space to grow and learn and evolve and find your people, like this is really it. So come check it out, guys. Come check it out. Like I said, that bonus goes until Friday at midnight. So don't miss it. It is the missing link. I 100% agree with you, Gail. Like it really is. It's like, it changes everything. Like it really does. Okay. So did I get it all, Melissa? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. So a few things I want to just wrap this up with when it comes to money is when we look at our money stories, and you guys, I really want you to spend some time, and obviously we do this in the wealth code. We really look at our money stories, and I give you a lot of the clean out stuff that like you guys don't even know that's there, that I know is there. Like I already know, we work with tens of thousands of people. I already know what's in there, and I'm going to be adding some new stuff this time around too, because I just went through more clean out around my money. So I'm like, oh wow, well, that was an interesting find, and so like I already know a lot of the interesting things that we have going on in there. And so it'll be fun to kind of add some of that stuff in there for you guys. But some of the things for you to really start looking at with your money is, like I said, look at your life, look at your world, look at what's happening in it, and it will give you a very big clue as to what you're believing. Another great thing to look at is your judgments. Almost always, you guys, our judgments are showing us something about us. Like if you're over here, like Wendy said, judging people, judging that people with money are mean and selfish and terrible, like obviously you feel like you with money are going to be mean, selfish, and terrible. Or maybe you already feel like you're mean, selfish, and terrible. And what's really interesting about when it comes to our judgment, guys, and this is why the membership is so helpful, because you have the ability to ask us, because you'll be like, okay, I'm judging the hell out of this person. And like, it doesn't make sense because like, why? And we can kind of help you sort through it. But a lot of times what's really interesting is a lot of this is ancestral. And so a lot of it, you're like, why does this bother me so much? And you can't really wrap your head around it because it's not necessarily in your like sphere right now, but it lives in you. Maybe, you had an ancestor that was a mean, selfish, terrible, rich person. And like, now it lives in you, like, oh God, that's going to happen to me. And so it's really interesting when we do the clean out phase, because our judgments are such keys to our true blocks around why we won't let money in. And often we just have to go into them. And that's what we teach you how to do in our work and in the wealth code and in the membership, is we teach you how to strategically use these things and really get to the core of them and remove them from your body and really feel them so that it doesn't keep showing up. It doesn't keep showing up. And then with the daily doses and all the things, like, we're anchoring into the good stuff. And so it keeps those epigenetics creating what we want to create. And so look at those judgments. And a lot of times our judgments, guys, they often indicate too the things we want in our lives that we are denying ourselves. So if you're over here freaking judging the hell out of rich people and their nice clothes and their nice things, it's likely you want a little bit more of that in your life. I'm not saying you necessarily want to own 15 homes and a private jet, but it's likely you are actually feeling squashed in your power and your ability to have the material things you want. And that's why you're pointing fingers and doing this. You know, it's really true when they say that finger you're pointing, turn it around at you and see what's there first. Because often there's a lot of stuff underneath there. And sometimes, like I said, it can be really, really confusing. Like, one of my biggest things that like boils my blood is people who are mean for no reason. And I'm always like, why does that make me so mad? Like, I'm not, turn the finger on me. I'm not mean for no reason. And it took me forever. This one was like years, guys, years. I could not get to the core of this one. And finally, what I actually figured out was it was me being mean to myself for no reason. That was the core there. That is why it made me so mad, because I was actually mad at myself for being mean to myself, denying myself, making myself suffer for really no good reason, other than, remember that little voice in there that's like, you're a bad person, you're stupid, you're ugly, everybody hates you. That voice that the world just tells you, because people, you know, people are mean out there in the world. They put you down. People have a lot of shit. You know how we go up and then down and then up and then down? It's those little handed, I call them the backhanded bitch slap. I call them the backhanded bitch slap. That thing where when somebody's all like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. You look great. So what are you, like, not eating at all? That must suck. Right? They're like the little pull downs. Oh, like, I remember when my business took off and people were like, oh my God, how exciting for you. Like, so well. Oh, are you exhausted? Great. I thought we were celebrating me. Oh my God, do you, like, not see your kids anymore? Like, right? Like, people have a really hard time just celebrating, just saying, or even look at yourself, guys. And I talk about this in the wealth code when it comes to receiving. How often does somebody compliment you and you deflect it? Oh my God, you look beautiful. Oh my God, really? Like, oh God, I mean, this shirt is like so old and like my hair, like, thanks, but like, Or how often are complimented real backhanded? I remember one time a friend coming over to my house and being like, oh my God, why is your house always so clean? And I was like, was that a compliment? Are you mad about it? What's happening? And she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. That was really rude. But like, really? And then we wonder why we have such a hard time with things just being good. I mean, you even look at our entire economy worldwide operates. We're up, we're down. Okay, we're a little bit up. Okay, but now we're back down. And people will say things, well, that's just the cycle. Is it though? I mean, like, when you look at a tree doesn't go up and then down. A tree just grows bigger and bigger and bigger and more beautiful and beautiful and beautiful until its life cycle's over. But hell, it can live for a really long time. There's trees out there hundreds and hundreds of years old with proper care and love and nourishment. And so why have we decided that that's how it goes for humans? You know, I love it. Matthew McConaughey, and I'm not like necessarily a huge Matthew McConaughey fan, but a quote from his book that I saw was, whatever goes down must come up. And I thought that's a great way of putting it, man. Because what do most people say? Whatever goes up must come down because of gravity. Okay, yeah, that applies to gravity, but why does that have to apply to like everything else? Right? Why does that have to apply to everything else? And so what I would really, really love for you guys to take away from here, other than the fact that you need to be in my membership with me, shameless plug there for you, is to really challenge what it is you are allowing yourself to believe. Be that person that when that thought comes into your head, wait a second, is that a truth or is that a limit? Wait a second. Do I have to believe this? I mean, in everything. And sometimes it can sound ridiculous. My daughter, who's 7 yesterday, told me she's growing boobs. And I said, baby, you're not growing boobs. You're only 7. And that chick looked me in the eyes and she said to me, Mom, this is my body. You don't know my body and you don't know what's going on with it. And I said, fair enough, girlfriend. Fair enough. You are right. I don't know. Maybe her little 7-year-old body's growing boobs. Either way, it could happen, right? And like, that's the thing, is that even me, the like limit breaker of the world, I love to break limits, I'm over here putting a damn limit on my child. Is it possible? Yep, there you go. Charlie had her boobs at 8. You know, and so that's the thing. I mean, she just threw it in my face, and my kids do this, and it's really interesting. And my son even, like, man, sometimes I get to him with the TV and the video games, and I'm like, okay, you've done too much video games. He'll say this to me, Mom, what's the real fear here? And I'm like, God damn, these children. And I'll be like, well, the real fear is you're going to end up a degenerate human being that has no good on this world because you just play video games all day and you just like waste your life. And he's like, okay, is that happening? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, well, then it does start happening. Then why don't you, like, we can talk. Right? Like, we make up so much in our head. This world makes so much up for us. And we live in fear and such worry when it's not, most of it's not true unless you believe in it. And that's the truth about money, guys. Almost all of it is not true unless you believe in it. And you are completely capable of changing your belief system, but it takes work. It takes focus. It takes help. And that's what we have created for you guys to come join us in and really work towards this and stay focused and stay accountable and create what I know is possible for all of us. A life where we don't have to struggle, a life where we have enough and it feels right and it feels good. All right. I know, at the same time, gamers make a career out of it. They make money all day. They really do. My brother once told me, because my brother's a huge gamer, there was a guy who made $250,000 in 2 minutes from PayPal donations on a video game. Because what he was doing was so amazing. And so that's what I'm saying. Let your mind expand, you guys. There are people selling their damn bathwater to make money. And it's not about the how, you guys. We're taught to focus on the how in our world, but you often will never know the how until you believe that it's going to happen, and then it happens. When magic things happen in my life, I don't actually even know how half of them happen. I don't even know how half of them happen. But I focus on the end, the result, the thing I want. And I believe it so solidly that it's happening to me, and I do the work, that then the how comes to you. You're not going to know the how until you believe it. If you feel foggy and unclear, you know what you want, but you feel foggy and unclear about how to get there, it's because you don't fully believe you're going to get there. When you fully believe you're going to get there, it all drops in. And so you got to go back and work on that. I'm scared I'm passing my fears and judgments on to my son. What is the membership for that? Oh, girlfriend, we have parenting courses. We have courses for kids now in there. So you can get your little ones. We have them based on age groups, and you can teach them. And I literally even talk about that in there to the kids. I say, look, man, sometimes your parents, they believe things, and they're going to tell you things that you don't believe. Here's what you do. Here's how you handle it. So we have them in there for that. So we have all the things, you guys, I'm telling you. And we're going to be redoing Rebirth and doing that one live too. That's our parenting course. We got it all in there, guys. We got it all. Eye fatigue and screen time damage isn't a real thing. It's a real thing if you believe in it. I'm just saying, Mary, there's people in this world that eat McDonald's every day and smoke 25 packs of cigarettes a month and live to be 98 years old without anything wrong with them. There was that lady that was like from France, and I think she lived to be 120, and they like interviewed her at the end, and they were like, how did you live to be so old? And she was like, I did whatever the hell I wanted. I ate what I wanted. I smoked what I wanted. I did what I wanted, and I let nobody tell me that it was going to do anything bad to my body. And I'm fine. Haven't had cancer, haven't had a damn thing wrong with me. Now, don't get me wrong, Mary. Like I said, your genes, your DNA has stuff in it. And so sometimes you are going to have to work a little bit harder on things. So I don't know. Is it a real thing? Or is it just something, or are we incapable of believing that these amazing screens and this amazing technology can actually just be all good? Because that's what I am starting to believe, that we just have such a problem believing that things can actually just be all good, that we will always try to find something wrong with them. And like Pamela Anderson says, yes, I'm quoting Pamela Anderson, if you go looking for a problem, you will find one. So who knows? Someone sells their farts, for God's sakes. My son asked if I could drop out of school if he made money. I said, no, but you can pay the internet bill. There you go. You need to be smart to make money. You definitely don't. I have met a lot of people who are not very smart, who have a whole lot of money. Yep, there's kid stuff in there. Are there courses other than Wealth Code and Foundation? Yeah, like I said, there are all of our courses. Every course we've ever done is in there, and it has all our meditations, all our mini courses. It has all of our, it has all of it. Everything. Go look on the membership site. We just put it all in there. I was like, look, this is good stuff. People need it. I know we could sell it. We still would sell it. Like people would email us all the time. Can I buy this? Can I buy this? My husband was like, this is the worst business model ever. You can sell all these things individually and make tons of money. And now you're just going to put them all in there and give a low fee. And I said, yeah. And I said, you know what? Everybody thought Walmart was crazy too. When Sam Walston said, hey, I want to actually provide stuff to people at a reasonable cost. Everybody's like, you'll never make money. Sometimes the right thing is actually the thing that will make you more money. And that's something I want to show people, that you can Do the right thing. Do good by humans. Make it about the human. Make it about the impact, and still create incredible wealth for yourself. Most of the world's creating wealth in the back of other people. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. So yeah, it's Mary, it's all in there. Everything that you used to charge all the monies for, it's all in there for you guys. Yes, you get instant access to the wealth code today. It's in there. Not all kids speak English here, but I'm applying for vision. Yes, that is a future of ours, to start getting our stuff translated into other languages. We're just not there yet. Emily's like, but don't start smoking, please. There's a problem. And you know what, Mary, if 5G is affecting you, then there's a solution in there for you somewhere, but you gotta agree. You gotta believe that there's some way for this. There's a solution out there for everything, you guys, everything. There's literally countries taking raw garbage, putting it into a machine and creating green energy. All of the solutions to all of our problems exist. It's just a matter of we believe they get to exist for us. All right. Maybe you have to be smart to sell products, but people buy dumb shit. Yeah, I mean, so remember, guys, the pool noodle is one of the best selling products of all times. Pool noodle. Doesn't take a lot of innovation or ingenious to create that and sell that. So yeah. Yeah, so the wealth code's already in there. When you guys join, you can already start. We start live with it next week. Again, we're live in there every freaking day in the membership. So it's a great place to be. I hope lots of you join us. I know plenty of you here are from our membership. So yay. All right, beautiful humans. Do you have a link to the membership? Yeah, here. I think she just dropped it right up here. I can drop it again. Oh yeah, if you go to the wealth code one, Rose, there's a little thing right there that says like, check out our membership, and you can click the link and it'll take you to the membership page. Yep. So it's all there for you guys. Go check it out. Email us if you have any questions about anything, and I'll see you in there. All right, beautiful humans. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and go make some money. I sprinkle you all with money making magic. All right, bye guys.